Well, hello everybody. Hope that you're doing a damn sight better than I am. Yes, still quite unwell. So we're here taking it easy, but the Beloved Buddies event has begun today and it runs for the rest of the week. What can you expect? What is going to be the best play here? And can we actually get our Pokédex Dhelmise? Bear in mind it can't be shiny. And the first 3-star raids that have hatched out there are both Hippowdon. So fantastic. Quickly looking over this event thanks to LeakDuck and Pokémon GO Hub as well. So this event is from Tuesday today until Saturday, February the 15th. And your bonuses are actually really solid. So not only is there 2x catch XP, but lure modules are boosted to 60 minutes, which is fantastic. But there's a Stardust boost for each one of those 6 Pokemon there. And one of those 6 Pokemon is already a Stardust boosted Pokemon. So Shelder during this event will give you a minimum of 1,500 dust per catch, which is insane. That's the equivalent of catching 15 normal Pokemon. And all 6 of those Pokemon are boosted off of lures. There is Dhelmise, the brand new Pokedex, although this is the one negative bit about this event is that unlike previous raid-locked Tier 3 and Tier 1 Pokemon, the likes of Drampa, Turtonator, Drudigon, and even as far back as Shinx, Timber, Clink, all of those sorts of Pokemon, even Absol and Mawile back in like 2018 and 2019, they were all debuting as a shiny in the 3-star raids and the 1-star raids. For some reason, they have held back on the Dhelmise shiny. Not quite sure why, because it now means that people will just go for one and done. Your spawns are quite varied. You've got good pairings in there. There's some interesting Pokemon. Good luck if you need the shiny on these. It is worth noting that there are 3 boosted shiny Pokemon during this event, and boosted, I would just add. Diglett and Dunsparce are apparently having a shiny boost for this event, but so does Skrelp. And Skrelp, I think, is only in those 1-star raid. Personally, since it had a research day, I think in December, don't necessarily raid for that, but it's nice to see Tandemaus. So if you find a trader Pokemon task, that will give you a Tandemaus reward, which is great. Previously, Tandemaus has only been in party play rewards, and there is split timed research. So once you get past stage 1, then you have to either team up with Candela or team up with Arlo. Arlo will give you a Rocket Radar, and it will give you a Scizor, which could have a shiny potential, which is great. But Candela seems to only give you Rapidash, can't be shiny. The Shelder is boosted dust, but then you've got Love Disc, which was tonight's Spotlight Hour. Hope you enjoyed that. Sorry we couldn't live stream it. And Dunsparce, but Dunsparce has a shiny boost. I'm quickly diving onto the Pokemon GO Hub database, which is a really good resource if you want to know 100% CPs at different levels and movesets and counters and things like that for various Pokemon and bosses. But Dhelmise, the CP you want to see when you catch it will be 1685 for regular, and weather boosted in sunny or foggy weather because it's a ghost grass type Pokemon. Dhelmise will be 100% 2107. So those are the 2 numbers that you're going to need to keep an eye out for. But what we're going to do now is lure up the home stop, see if we can pick up anything, and I will just demonstrate. It might be worth whacking a star piece down or 2. Honestly, Stardust boosts are insane. This is Stardust and XP on this event. And the very fact that there are Pokemon with 500 dust base catch for the event, the Shelder's 1500 dust, which is insane. I'm so down for something like that with an event like this, even if it runs for not even quite a week. There is one thing I would say is a missed opportunity with this event. It's called the Beloved Buddies, and they've focused that name in the past on the buddy feature. This time around, it seems to be more focused on the event spawns and a few other elements. So we've got Volbeat and Illumise, or Illumise, however you pronounce it, plus or minus Nidoran, male and female, etc. But there's no buddy bonuses, and I would have thought at least like maybe give us some extra buddy hearts for exploring with your buddy, or boosted gifts from buddies or something like that. Feel like there could have been a decent opportunity there. A lot of those Pokemon in the wild spawns are really good shinies, so let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below of that. We're going to see if we can get our Pokédex Dhelmise today and see what we can get from lures. But I will say a big thanks to the Patreon squad as always. You guys are immensely supportive of what goes down here on the channel and the creation of the content. And you guys are the reason we're able to continue doing that. So thank you very much to each and every one of you on the rolling credits in these videos. The backbone the production crew, or not production crew, what's it called? The executive producer squad. Thank you very much for all of your contributions towards the channel. Really does make the world a difference. We ain't going exploring today, trust me on that. The good news is we're on the road to recovery, so perhaps tomorrow evening for raid hour we should be okay, but we definitely need to be well enough for LA. We're traveling to LA in just over a week. Cannot wait for your Nova tour, and yeah, we've got to be in fighting fit for that. It's going to be an intense couple of days out there. Shortly after all of that, Shiny IKEA Mum, aka Sandra, who was actually with us for the community day last weekend, in fact just 2 days ago, will get a remote pass for it. Thank you very much for the invite, which is going to be our Pokédex Dhelmise, and as a design, as a Pokemon, it's from Generation 7. It looks fantastic. Somebody could possibly tell me, does it have something in the Sun and Moon games where it has to have friendship level or kind of buddy bits and pieces to be able to catch it, or something along those lines? Because I don't understand why it's the core element of the Beloved Buddies event when, you know, it doesn't have a shiny potential, it's raid locked, and there's no buddy boot bonuses for saying, hey, maybe you want to buddy it. I don't know. I ask too many questions sometimes, but hey, this is the Pokemon, looks fantastic. It's like a sort of ship's wheel, an anchor thrown together. And Yvel tell us about one of the best counters you could go for, because it's going to, either of its moves, its exclusive move of Oblivion Wing and Dark Pulse will make very light work of this grass ghost type Pokemon. Given the conditions out there in the United Kingdom of England land, I am confident that it's not Sunny Boost anywhere. So we'll be looking for 1685, 1654, so mid-row. Sandra, thank you very much for the remote Pokédex entry. And as it turns out, we did drift and find ourselves a Tandemaus task. If only it could be shiny. It's enormous. Absolutely enormous on the screen. Oh my god. Substantial. I feel like a trip to the seafront is needed for an AR shot of that thing. Or maybe we go to the Cutty Sark or something, I don't know. But there you go, Pokédex Dhelmise with the new Pokédex screen. Funnily enough, right next door to Drampa and Turtonator, I think it was. Drampa releases a shiny from 3-star raids, actually for last year's Lunar New Year event. And then we ping back here, Turtonator, released, was it earlier in 2024 or maybe even 2023, I forget. There you go, Dhelmise, caught one, seen one. Maybe we'll give a few raids a go and see what we can get today, since we've got 5 remotes. But we have another one from Tomo at Paddington Bear, how funny. Let's raid at Paddington Bear. Okay, take 2. Obviously, you're completely free to burn your remote passes or raid passes and whatever you fancy. But Dhelmise doesn't really have any play anywhere, I'm fairly sure of that. Not in PvP or certainly not in raids. 2 CP higher than the last one. 1656. The other thing is, I know we have the split-timed research with Arlo and Candela to choose from, but we're not going to be able to do that today because we have to explore 2 kilometers, and I don't see any 2 kilometers being done today at the moment, so there we go. So after about an hour, those lures obviously have now finished, and well, no shinies, couple of XXL bits and pieces here or there, but a nice dust gain. So lures have a little bit more to them during this event. Probably good to drop 1 or 2, but I wouldn't say go crazy on buying the item. Obviously, there's not much else I can cover about this event from here. Good luck on your Dhelmise chase if you're actually chasing for a hundo, if you just want to get the Pokédex. Let me know if there's anything you're chasing for shiny wise or whatever in this event. Hope you have a good time with it. I will say, if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget you can check out some videos in the top right hand corner of the screen that are pinned there for your viewing entertainment. But now let's dive into some of the stuff about next season. Earlier today, March's main community day was confirmed to be Fuecoco, which is honestly sick. That's my favorite Gen 9 starter. Fuecoco shiny is pink. It's a great shiny family. March the 8th from 2 to 5 PM your local time. Of course, it's going to get Blast Burn, and then Torch Song will become available, which is Skeldurge's exclusive move. I'm going to gloss on over because we know there's a $2 Community Day ticketed research. There's the extended free research that goes after the Community Day. That's kind of coming a part and parcel of Com Day course now, but it's a triple catch Stardust Com Day, as you can see right there. So the event bonuses are juicy for that one. Whether we travel somewhere for that one, I'm I'm not so sure. And the reason I say I'm not so sure is on the back of what was posted yesterday by Pokémon GO app. So these are the save the dates, mark your calendars trainers for these upcoming dates. And the next season, we're going to have obviously Fuecoco Com Day on March the 8th, then Community Day Classic, the first of two, March the 22nd. Then there's quite a big break until Sunday, April the 27th. That is the main Com Day for April. And then May the 11th, Sunday, is going to be a Com Day. And then Saturday, May the 24th, is the next Com Day Classic. So 2 Com Day Classics, 3 Com Days for next season. Looks quite busy. Then you open up the article. I don't think there's any way that you could put more events on the weekends over the course of March, April and May if you tried. Because let me just list this off for you and then I'm going to give my opinion. I've already put my opinion on social media. I've given some feedback to Niantic about how my community have personally reacted to this. Not only are you going to have the community days happening, but during the course of Fuecoco Com Day, there is a max battle weekend Saturday and Sunday, March the 8th and 9th. Then March the 16th, there's a Catch Mastery, tends to be a bit trash, but that's Sunday. Then the next weekend, Sunday, March the 23rd, is a Raid Day. Then the 29th of March, Saturday, there's a Research Day. So every weekend of March has something happening. April goes pretty off the wall because April the 5th is another Raid Day. Then April the 6th, the very next day, so Saturday and Sunday, there's something happening, a Hatch Day. Then April the 13th, the next weekend, another Raid Day. Then April the 19th, the next weekend, a Max Battle Day. And then May the 3rd kicks off with a Raid Day. And then May the 17th is a Shadow Raid Day. Probably going to be Shadow Shiny Lugia, I would bet. And then to finish off May, the very day after May's Com Day Classic, May the 25th, there is another Max Battle Day. What do you think of all of this bits and pieces? Because I'm going to give my opinion now, and not everybody shares opinions, and it's entirely fine. I'm entitled to my point of view, you're entitled to your point of view, but I play this game obviously a lot. It's what we do here on the channel. It's the content, it's the creation, everything, but that is overkill. That is too much in the way of not just events. I mean, don't forget, people, you have Max Mondays, you have Spotlight Hours, you have Raid Hours, you have the week-long events that are happening during the course of the week and also over the course of weekends as well. And then you've got all of that chocked into it as well. And what I have a real concern with is I feel like Niantic has seen that the game only has an interest or a spark when there's a big event going on, like on a weekend or something. Because typically what's happened now is these regular events, a bit like this one with the beloved buddies, there's not a crazy amount to keep you interested. Yes, there's some good spawns and things like that, but it's kind of like passive in a way. So they've decided, you know what, we see that people like Raid Days, Hatch Days, Max Battle Days, these sorts of things. Let's just put all of these in all the time. And I've heard from a few of my community that they're really having to pick and choose and they're like, right, we'll have to see which Pokemon comes into those events and things like that before we decide to play. But I know I've certainly got some plans over the course of the next 3 months where I probably won't be able to even attend some of these events or do them. That's just part and parcel of life, we know that. But I'm just looking at this and going, what's the necessity to have, April has 2 Raid Days and a Max Battle Day in it and a Hatch Day, and also the Community Day in it. And you think, Raid Days and things like that used to be a very special, maybe even once a season kind of deal, where it was a good Pokemon. People could make a note of it and say, right, we're all going to gather together as a community, let's go ham, let's chase this Pokemon, let's really make the most of this 3-hour event window. Now they're happening so often, and it's almost like you look at it and go, I can't keep going and doing this. People have lives, people have things that they need to do, and how is this physically sustainable? Niantic can put all the events they want out on the planet, but if the community does not yield to the time demand, shall we say, then the events will start to fall flat. And the other thing is, and this is a particular favourite phrase of mine, quality over quantity. And Niantic, as you can see right there, have gone for quantity over quality. Let's see what the Pokemon are going to be included in those events before claiming that quote, shall we say. I am quite skeptical and quite worried about communities' burnout between these events and things like that, because don't forget this season is off the back of Global Unova Tour, and we know that the tour events are amongst some of the most heavily played but also most costly, with no remote raid cap and God knows what. So people are coming off the back of that, and then they're straight into Max Battle Weekend, then there's a raid day, then there's God knows what, and every one of those events is going to have a paid ticket, be it $2, probably a $5 one for the Max Battles, and the raid days, they're always $5. So each of those dates you see there has an extra $2 or $5 attached to it. Yes, you don't have to buy the ticket, but it does massively improve the experience, really. And then on top of all of that, if you want to do more than 1 or 2 battles or raids or even hatches, you have to buy the premium items in the shop. You can clearly see that Niantic are trying to dive deep into our player pockets. I don't know, I'm not feeling 100%, so I'm going to see how I feel when I've recovered, but I am not best pleased with that. Least of all, and I will say this now, and anybody who's doing one of the city safaris, March the 29th is a research day. That intersects and will overtake between 2 to 5 p.m. Milan, Santiago, Mumbai, and Singapore, I think, are the 4 locations. We will lose out on our city safari experience from field research in particular, chasing for shiny Mudbray and all those sorts of things are part of our paid travel event, because Niantic have decided to overlap it with an in-game event. You think, I would like to say to Niantic, just slow down a little bit, because if you're worried about content retention, you need to put quality, not quantity, out there, because there's only so much quantity that people will soak up before being completely done. Like, a sponge will soak up quite a bit, but once it's full, once it's absorbed all the water it can do, it won't absorb anymore. And I feel that's what's going to happen with the players here, is that halfway through that season, people will have had enough, and you know what, I'm not going to partake in any more events. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below of that. I know it's a little bit of a, not necessarily a rant, I'm just very worried that Niantic are kind of going all guns blazing on the paid aspects of the game, and that's not how the game really should be. It should be an addition, this sort of thing, not the main pull of the game every weekend. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. So I'll say, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that subscribe button and check out one of the 2 videos here on the screen. I particularly recommend that one for your viewing pleasure. We do, obviously, when we're feeling 100%, take a much more hardcore attitude to this gameplay, chasing for shinies and things like that. Unfortunately, today, I'm really not up to it, because LA is next weekend. So until the next time, people, I will say, do take care.